All right, we got an hour left in the program. Got a couple things to do in this final hour. I went to the movies yesterday, and I saw a movie called Clerks 2. I guess I don't know if people, if it's clear from listening to this program, I'm not much of a Kevin Smith fan. I guess it starts with the fact that he's from Jersey, and I'm from vaguely the same area. He's more south central Jersey. That's not supposed to imply South Central L.A. South Central Jersey is Red Bank. I'm kind of from Central Jersey. Newbridge. A little more, less, he's got a little more, closer to the beach than I am. So all of a sudden this guy comes on the scene like 10 years ago. And all of a sudden he's like repping Jersey. Like I'm going to give you the way Jersey is. What? And then I saw Clerks. I was like, I got to see this movie Clerks. Clerks, he made it for $27,000. Oh, Clerks. And finally I get a videotape of Clerks from somebody, before it went into theaters. After it was all hot from the festivals. Big articles in the Star Ledger about Kevin Smith, the genius of Leonardo, New Jersey, or Red Bank. And I see this movie, and I'm like, holy moly, what? You got to be kidding me. That was one of the worst things I ever saw. But it hit me on a different level. It weirdly. You know how you see things and some people say all of a sudden I saw this and it spoke to me. Like I heard the Velvet Underground for the first time and it spoke to me and I went out and formed a band. This Kevin Smith stuff, I saw it and it spoke, I guess if it spoke from, I'm trying to think of what the opposite of the complete inverse of that would be. What's that? I guess it drew me in though. I might be this guy's biggest fan. Because I watch these movies. And I'm amazed at how I'm like watching them, just marveling at how much I hate them on every level, like everything. I hate the writing. I hate the voice that he writes in. I hate the fact that he jams these wordy just tracks into the mouths of his actors. I hate the actors he chooses. I hate the fact that he can't compose a half-decent shot. I hate the fact that he's not funny. I hate the pop culture references. I hate the shift in tone. I hate the fact that the things get overly dramatic all of a sudden. I hate the fake indie approach to the movies. I just hate everything about. When I saw Clerks, I was like, I hate everything about this. I literally, every second of it, I hated 5 things in it. Even when the characters would say things that I might agree with, I hated it. I hated me for feeling that way if it overlapped with something that he liked, that he would even make a character. Oh, And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I need to do something like this. I need to, like, literally, I'm seeing this thing, this movie, and I'm saying, to go from the blank page, the paper and pen sitting there, to putting together a finished movie. There's like 1 million choices that get put into that. Like literally 1 million that have to go down. And he literally is 0 for 1 million. He literally made 1 million wrong choices when he did Clerks. So I was hooked. Then I saw Mallrats in the theater. Right when it came out. I saw it at a theater pretty much near where the flea market scene was for Mallrats, when the one character goes to the flea market. And so I was seeing it where it took place, pretty much. I was like seeing Mallrats in the mall that Mallrats took place in. And then I hated that. Actually, that movie made me hate Animal House, which is one of my favorite movies. I hated it because it was trying to be like Animal House. And then it bombed, and I was like, wow, I guess that ends that guy. 2 up, 2 down. Never hear from him again. But then he's back. And he did the Chasing Amy. And all of a sudden it's getting good reviews. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. This is going to be horrifying. So I go see it. And it hit every anti-quality barometer and signpost that I have. Because it was like, it was supposed to be deep. It was like him going deep. And it was terrible. It was so awful. But now he was back. So now I start watching the guy's stuff on DVD. Now I'm watching Mallrats. I'm watching the deleted beginning on the thing. I watch an hour of outtakes. I listened to 2 commentaries. And I'm like, and then people are like, well, there are fans of this guy who aren't going as far as you do. They're like, there are guys who are like, I love, my favorite filmmaker is Kevib Smith. Yeah, well, did you listen to the second commentary twice? No. Well, I did. And you know what I figured it out is? It's kind of like with Patton. You know how Patton defeated Rommel? Remember when Patton had beat Rommel? He beat him because he read his book. I'm reading this guy's book. I'm studying every move. This guy is almost like the anti-me, showing me what not to do with everything in my life. If I was him, if I was Kevib Smith, this guy Fred who calls every week, I'd be buddies with him. I'd have him down. You know what, Captain Jack? He hangs out with that guy Jason Mewes. Captain Jack comes down here, I throw him out of the building. Captain Jack showed up at Kevib Smith's house, he'd be in the basement in 2 days. Have a cot set out for him. So now this guy's back. Now he makes Dogma. I see Dogma. And it was somehow even worse than anything he had done yet. It's like this guy's hitting new lows. Like, how's he doing this? Like, where is the floor? on this guy. Like, usually people say, like, you know, where's the ceiling? Like, when somebody's on some rocket ship up, just some artistic, skyrocket through the sky. Like, this guy's like, he's drilling to China. It's like, wow, he's still going. Like, I thought his drill would have melted by now. He's like the core, like going to the center of the earth. Then, so then he announces he's going to put a cap on his universe with the ultimate movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And Jay and Silent Bob are his two characters. He's one of them. And that buddy of his from Jason Mewes is Jay. So then he puts his final movie at the fifth movie. And yes, somehow Dogma was left in the dust. All of a sudden I was like, man, Dogma might have been pretty good compared to this. And I'm seeing all these things in the theater now. I'm actually like there. I think I saw Jay and Silent Bob, the second available show. I saw it at like an 11:30 a.m. show on the Friday it came out in Jersey. And the theater's always scattered with just single ticket guys. I think at that theater, no phrase is uttered more in that one day than one for Jay and Silent Bob. One for Jay and Silent Bob. So then he ends the whatever you call a five-ilogy. I don't know. I'm like Dane Cook. I didn't go to school. And then he makes Jersey Girl. I didn't see Jersey Girl. It looked so sad. Even I wouldn't go that low with this guy. Because I like when he's feeling good about stuff. His fans were kicking him on that one. So I wouldn't see it. The ones that everybody loves, I might like Jersey Girl. I might see it and be like, you know what? That guy did everything wrong for him, which works right for me. So when he announced that he was doing Clerks 2, I think the second most excited person and third most excited person would have been the two Clerks. The two actual actors from the first Clerks movie. When they heard he was doing Clerks 2. The most excited person was me. So I get my ticket. I get off the airplane on Monday. And I say, I'm going to see Clerks 2 as soon as I physically can. I couldn't see Clerks 2 in Canada. I got to see a Kevin Smith movie, home base. I got to see it with all those, I got to see it in the hometown. Amboy's gone. Fanboy, with the fanboys, yeah. I got to see it with the fanboys. So I go see Clerks 2. And I would like to say, I got to say I'm sorry to Kevin Smith. Clerks 2 was good. It was terrible. That was the worst one yet. I couldn't take it. I almost left. I'm telling you. I see these Kevin Smith movies. This is the first one where I actually felt sick to my stomach. I felt physically ill during it. Like, I actually felt my DNA changing. I think I'm different now. I think this movie had rays coming off the screen or something that were, like, mutating my innards. Where do I begin, Clerks 2? Where do I begin? I guess I start with the clerks themselves. The two guys. And you know what? I'm not going to put these two slobs down. These two guys never made claims that they were, this is not Olivier. These two guys. These two guys are not even Oliver from Brady Bunch, let alone Olivier. These guys aren't Robbie Wrist. See, I'm making he's got me making references like that now. So I'm thinking, it's not these guys' fault. I'd do the work too if I had some guy who would hire me every once in a while to act. But these, you know what? Big deal. I'm not going to blame them. They're not movie stars. That don't make it easy to watch them for 90 minutes. The ticket wasn't $3 because it had two non-movie stars in it. I'm sitting there in the theater watching these two guys. Oh, those two guys. It sounds like this when those two guys talk. It's like, like they're just provoking each other. It's like, I would like to just chart that on some sort of sound wave. You know what? You know, they say what? These guys couldn't act. Big deal. They were stinking up the theater. Same thing goes with Jason Mewes. You know what? He's. It's like giving the guy. It's like they give the guy from the guy who got banned from the arcade near where I grew up. If he all of a sudden got a movie part, like the guy who always got thrown out of the arcade. Like, wait, he's in a movie now? What's he doing? He's doing exactly what he does at the arcade in a movie. So the movie starts. And as everybody knows, you can see from all the trailers and ads, it starts the convenience store burns down that they worked at in the first movie. And then our two heroes, and if you didn't hear, the word hero has changed. It's definitely now it's just it's not somebody you look up to anymore. It's just kind of like the two guys you're stuck with for 2 hours. And then so those two guys now work at a fast food chain, which is like Moobies, which is his McDonald's. Now, I've never been into a McDonald's where there are 11 customers all day. But I guess this is the one. You know, it's like the movie, the Clerks 2 cost $5 million. And somebody should look at the books on that one. I think there might be a couple copies of Daredevil #1 at Kevin Smith's house that were meant for, I don't know, people in the movie. Meant to have, it was like the most unpopulated fast food restaurant ever. There's one scene where there's supposed to be a rush going on where, like, our clerks left and then they come back and it's like, get back in here. It's going crazy. There are 2 people at the counter. There's 2 people behind the counter, 2 people in front of the counter. I mean, do I even have to talk about how this guy can't direct? Like, he always admits it. I don't know how to direct. You know what? Yeah, you really don't. But you know he thinks he does know how to direct? I don't know how to direct. Yeah, you really don't. Oh, so it's filthy. It's a toilet mouth movie. It's all toilet mouth, the toilet talk. Got this stuff with a donkey. And it's got shocking stuff throwing around racial epithets. Ooh, that's funny. Because it's funny to just say the same thing again and again and again. Until... And the theater was kind of like... The theater was light on laughter. Lighter than I thought it would be. It was actually a decent crowd. Light on laughter, except for like the diehards who were like at there was like 3 guys in the theater at everything. You know, I thought that Lord of the Rings. You know, when you're with a girl. Everything. Moments that have been on the commercial for the movie for the last 3.5 months. like this guy never saw the commercial 80 times. Hasn't studied the trailer online. I also get the movie. I thought it was really like it's these guys working in this fast food place now, and it's like the one guy's gonna get his life together. He's gonna go off and marry someone, and the woman's played his fiance is played by Kevin Smith's wife. The less said about that, the better. That constitutes. I think that might qualify as spousal abuse. Putting your wife in a movie like that. And then the other guy's like, he's at the fast food place still, and he's just going to stay in the town, and they're fighting over whether you got to leave or, I got to move on with my life. That one guy.
Well, the thing with your life is, I'm here, I'm having a good time hanging out with my friends.
Are you crazy? I gotta move on. I don't want to hang out here. This isn't my life. That one guy, Dante is the guy with the bad goatee. That guy does those reaction shots. Again, I know he's not I never said he was a great actor, but he's going to burn out his face muscles with those reaction shots. Like somebody says something, all of a sudden he's like, it looks like somebody getting punched in the face, like a cartoon, like his face just folds over, like one side of his face is just skin. and everything on his face, his eyes and his mouth and nose, he pushes them all over to the other side. Like, what? The dialogue, oh boy. Lord of the Rings. Like, I hated Lord of the Rings. I think I like Lord of the Rings now. Because that one guy hated it in the movie.
Oh, brother.
And then I think the most offensive, I think the movie has like this here's to the little man attitude. Let's hear it for the working man. Like, this one is for the people who are still in New Jersey. Working hard. Living real lives. The salt of the earth. There's a quote from an article, from an interview with Kevib Smith. Pointed out by Paycheck from an interview he did. Said, him talking about the movie, what happens, though, he's like talking about our generation seems to be the one that wants to play by our own rules. We'll find our dream jobs. Until then, we'll work at these crummy jobs because I don't have the toilet mouth that Kevib Smith has. He'd be effective with to go to the dirty words, Kevin. Get more across with the clean ones. So then he says, what happens, though, if you don't find that dream job? It totally worked out for me. But I realize I'm more lucky than talented. Luck and timing made Clerks what it was. Okay, fair enough. But there are so many people, some of my friends included, who are waiting for their ship to come in. It's like popcorn. Sometimes it pops, and sometimes it sits at the bottom of the bag. Boy, I'd love to see him come home after reading that, be one of his friends. Here I am, bottom of the bag, unpopped kernel. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the compliment in that paper. So I say, even with people telling me that I have to see Lady in the Water, and that is one of the worst movies I will ever see, which I can't wait to see Lady in the Water. But at least that looks like Lady in the Water to me. That reminds me. That's like I don't know. That's like someone having a meltdown. Like Lady in the Water reminds me of. That's like goodbye. That's like watching. Watching a movie. Goodbye, Cruel World, the Elvis Costello album, the one with all the, like the one where again every decision was wrong. But it's like it's like crazy. It's like a guy painting some weird, crazy wrong decision movie. And but Kevib Smith is like, he's got all these people loving this, and it's right, and he's getting good reviews. I gotta say it. You did it, Smith. You got me in the theater again. You did it. I even watched his stupid lecture thing. Somebody gave it to me for my birthday. where he lectured at colleges. I watched every minute of that thing. Are these calls Clerks related? FMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom. It's Fido from chat.
From where?
The chat room.
Oh, from the chat room. How are you, Fido?
Pretty good. Hey, I just, I was listening and I was just thinking, like, if I didn't know better, you were totally jealous of Kevin Smith. Like, you're sitting here thinking that Kevin Smith, you could have been Kevin Smith, writing about, or directing about your experiences with, whatever aspect of Jersey life that would be interesting and relevant for people. And it just strikes me that Kevin Smith is like, he's just a guy who caught a lot of breaks.
Look,
and he's,
let me tell you. Hey, Fido.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine.
I think you are too. I think you're doing damn fine. Don't you forget it.
You know how else I'm doing better than Kevin Smith? I'm not responsible for any of those movies.
Say again?
Because I'm not responsible for any of those movies.
I don't think they're that bad. I just think I'm not going to hold them up as some examples of cinematic greatness. They'll get me into the theater too. But I just think he's like a guy who's caught a few breaks and somehow, whatever combination of talent and, inroads he's made in Hollywood has gotten him to wherever he is. And, so be it. Fine.
You want to look? You were saying exactly what that's exactly.
I totally agree with you when you said something like, you got me into the theater, Smith. You did it again.
You want to know what? I feel exactly the way you feel about it. I give the guy runs a great operation.
Yeah.
The guy's got a good comic book store in Red Bank. I mean, admittedly, it's kind of like a museum to him that happens to sell comic books in the gift shop.
Yeah.
But you know what? He seems like an okay guy. He seems like he treats his fans well.
Yeah.
He signs stuff for his fans all over. People can buy stuff autographed. He seems okay.
He seems though like I saw him interviewed. I can't remember where.
But he's completely bereft of talent. He seems like an okay slob.
No, he seems like a pretty stand-up guy who maybe is just right on the verge or has possibly even already been ruined by Hollywood. By the success he's seen.
No, Clerks was the one he did for by himself was one of the worst things I've ever seen. There was no Hollywood influence on that movie. That was one of the most atrocious movies ever committed to film.
Wait, Tom, are you suggesting that it would have been better had there been more quote-unquote Hollywood influence?
No, I'm saying it would have been better if there was less quote-unquote Kevin Smith influence. Everything he does is terrible. Seems like a nice enough guy.
So you agree with me that essentially that he's a guy he's just a Jersey guy who's caught a lot of breaks.
Sure.
And he's gotten where he's gotten by virtue of just coincidence.
He's the luckiest person alive.
I suspect you're right.
He literally is.
That's kind of what I've thought.
He should say that Lou Gehrig speech every day he wakes up.
Which Lou Gehrig speech?
What is the Lou Gehrig speech? I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
That should be the first thing he says every day.
No, it probably should. Anyway.
Good for him. Look, he found a fan base. He worked a fan base. Great. I give Dane Cook credit. You find the people you speak to them.
Don't give Dane Cook too much credit.
You do your thing, but you know what? The Thing is terrible.
That's I haven't seen this movie yet.
I have.
I'm
have.
Sure Smith will get me into the theater
book.
Again. But I'm not. I'm really not looking forward to it. To be honest with you.
I don't think you should. I think you should see it now. I think you should see it.
No, I will.
No, I want you to see it and then get back to me.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Fare thee well.
Bye. What?
Bye.
Fare thee well. FMU, you're on the air.
Everything. So, I don't want to do this show tonight.
What?
You know what, though? I have to. I can't hide behind the, I don't do a music show as much as I do. It's half and half, so I can't hide behind just music tonight and pretend that
Is that me? Oh, how about that? FMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom, it's Chris L.
Hey, how you doing, Chris L?
Hey, good.
Which Chris L? There's like 8 of them.
Yeah, much to my chagrin. The one from Maryland.
Ooh.
So,
How are you, Chris L?
I'm good. So, but you're saying that Clerks 2 did not deserve the 8-minute standing ovation it got at the Cannes Film Festival.
I think I was ready to give it a standing ovation when it ended, too.
Yeah.
I can understand how they did that.
It is quite the, would you say he is the absolute worst?
I know I stood.
What's that?
I know when it was over, I definitely stood.
Yeah, I'm sure you wanted to stand before that and walk out.
He ended the movie with one of the most appropriate musical outros I've ever heard ever seen and heard in any movie ever. You know that Soul Asylum song? It was like, "Put me out of my misery."
Is it in the new one or the first one?
The new one.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Well, he ended it with that song "Misery"
No, I don't know.
by Soul Asylum. And I was like, you and me both, buddy. Then I'm like, wait, put you out of your misery.
Yeah, he...
oh, no way. That was one where I was not staying. Mike just asked if I stayed through the credits. No way I stayed through the credits on that one. What? At the end of the credits? Now I have to go back. I have to go see it again. I can't.
Apparently, Dave Pirner is like his musical touchstone because he ended the first Clerks and Chasing Amy with these Dave Pirner songs.
Yeah, Dave Pirner.
And that goes back to casting Alanis Morissette as God in Dogma, which is maybe the worst casting of all time.
Yeah,
that's like his coup de grace as far as I'm concerned.
And he's got this like stable of actors. You know what does drive me nuts about him though is like he came down so hard on Magnolia.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what a terrible movie. Yeah, could you imagine something that had sections to it and like built and then had emotional arcs and swept and went this way and then it built to something and then it had this musical release and then it had a big surprise in the end and it was completely emotionally involving and draining? Yeah, what a horrible movie. Who would want to do something like that?
Yeah, it needed more Star Wars.
No, let me just let the local ruffian from my town pollute the screen for 10 minutes. That's better.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just wanted to call and second your...
and you know that...
I'm kind of a recovering... when I was a teenager, I was into Kevin Smith films, and so I'm kind of a recovering...
Which one was your favorite?
Clerks. But even then, I knew that Mallrats, which was the next one that came out, was that would go down as one of the worst that I would ever see. So so seeing that when I was sort of younger, that was like, I guess how some people have like some concert they remember forever as like a great moment. That was knowing that I was seeing one of the worst movies I would ever see at that time. Mallrats.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an inverse touchstone.
And
that's grammatically correct.
You know what, though? I saw Mallrats. You know what I thought when I saw Mallrats?
When?
I thought when I saw it, I said, I like Jason Lee.
Yeah, well,
I gotta
Jason
say.
Lee I like Jason Lee.
This guy's, he's got this stable of actors in his little, what does he, like Ben Affleck does a quick thing in Clerks 2. Ooh, boy, these guys must hate it now when the phone rings. Hey, it's Kevin. Doing Clerks 2. I don't know if you want to swing by, shoot for a day. And Ben Affleck, that's probably why Ben Affleck takes all those awful movies. He probably Ben Affleck gets the call from Kevin Smith. Yeah, hey, you want to come by and do something in Dogma? Or you do Dogma? And Ben Affleck looks over on the table and just says, no, I can't. I'm doing, and looks at the name of the script on the table. And he's like, I'm doing, and I can't even think of a Ben Affleck movie now. Not Geely. They give me a bad one. He's like, I'm doing reindeer games.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm doing this new movie, and then he calls his agent.
Surviving
He's like,
Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one I was trying. He's like, I can't. I'm doing Surviving Christmas. That shoots at the same time, and he's like,
Joel Schumacher's on the other line.
Yeah, and exactly. And then he's like, he's got to call his agent. He's like, hey, I got to do Surviving Christmas. His agent's like, what? Really? I sent that over as a joke. He's like, I don't want to do this Kevin Smith movie. Oh.
And he puts funny people apparently line up to do these movies. Like Chris Rock and Jon Stewart was in Jay and Silent Bob, and he makes them just.
Yes.
He completely squanders their talent down to nothingness.
You mean like Will Ferrell in Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah.
Who I'm watching him in that, and I'm like, wait, this is the guy who is one of my favorites? What happened? Why is he in this movie?
It's the Smith effect.
The Smith effect. That's perfect. The Smith effect. All of a sudden, Chris Rock is like, he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave the funny juice at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my unfunny clothes on today.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, buddy. You too. Bye. FMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, who's this?
It's Bob from Chicago.
How's everything in Chicago?
Excellent. I don't know if you've already brought it up, but I was in the local video and DVD emporium and saw a copy of a new deluxe edition of Roadhouse.
I heard about that. I'm going to investigate it.
Yeah, and Mr. Smith is doing the commentary.
Oh.
Along with his producer. In fact, that's the only real sort of extra.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Apparently, he is so good that he
Why?
can derisively on the work of Rowdy Harrington. So.
Wait, this guy is going to go and then make fun of Roadhouse?
Oh, yeah.
The guy responsible
it's figured on the thing. That's the big selling point, apparently.
Guess I got to check it out. I have no say. He is the puppet master.
Yeah, I don't know what the sort of thinking was behind that, but apparently they just thought, well, it says, and I think it sort of bills it as, Roadhouse fans and whatever. So.
You know what they thought the rationale behind that is? They're like, we know we can sell 30,000 of these. Like if we got this guy talking, there are 30,000 drones that will see it, of which I'm one apparently.
Yeah, well, I picked it up too. I haven't had a chance to actually listen to it yet, and I was going to sort of skip that, but I just wanted to.
It's like the way Kiss is, where they put everything, like, Kiss are like, they're like, hey, we got a loyal fan base who really supports us and buys stuff when we put it out. The only thing we can do is to completely punish them. Now.
Well, I mean, the guy totally. He's like the indie film equivalent of Gene Simmons. I mean, the merch page on his website it's appalling.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like no one puts a gun to people's head though. I'm not gonna get on him too much for that because it's like he puts the stuff out. If you want it, it's there.
Right. Fair enough.
If you're into it, he's got his fan base. Good for him. But the product, how many ladles of spoiled soup must you people eat?
Well, you're going to eat a ladle of Roadhouse, too.
Before you realize the whole pot has gone bad. How many ladles must I eat?
Yeah, I think maybe that'll be his new sideline is he'll just start doing DVD commentaries on great films, so.
That would be fantastic.
Anyways.
All right, buddy.
Well, thank you, Tommy. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye. I know I'm quoting somebody with that thing with the ladles of spoiled soup. I don't remember who. Oh, Kevin Smith, you got me again. You got me again. Will you see this movie, Mike? Do you want to come in for a minute and talk? I would love for you, because you, unlike me, my fighting with Kevin Smith is like
It's like a one-sided war. It's like a guy. It's like a guy yelling in his basement, and he thinks he's has a fight going on with like, I hate George Clooney. Me, George Clooney's my enemy, and George Clooney's like living his life and has no idea that he's hated. But you, on the other hand.
Yeah, I actually got into big debates with Kevin Smith on his website.
Actually with Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it was like early on when I was getting involved with the internet, and I just stumbled across that site, and I had the same reaction to you, that you did with Clerks. I was just so disappointed after the build-up.
And which site is that?
Wfmu.
Okay, that's his homepage.
His homepage. It gets about 1 million people. It didn't get that many people back then. So he would actually have lots of time to chat with people there. And I would just, criticize his movies. Dogma, I read the script online, and I sort of literally went through it line by line, tearing it apart. And, of course, the fans came after me left and right. But, to me, it was just a big laugh. I was having a ball.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, it sort of ran out of gas, and we sort of made amends at the end of it. And he actually, I don't know if I told you this, I'm actually in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Oh my goodness!
I'm in a cab. He had to neutralize me basically. So
I'm excited. Will you sign this for me?
I will sign it for you, Tom.
But
early on,
I have a one sheet, limited Mylar one sheet from.
I will sign it for
J
you.
ampersand SB.
Yeah, the early scene in the comic book store.
Uh-huh.
If you look closely in the background, I am in the background of that scene.
Guess what I'm going to do? Well, not tonight. I don't have time to get. I don't own these movies.
Oh, no?
I don't want them in my house. I don't want them seeping through to the other movies.
Oh, okay.
Because if I put, like, Clerks in my DVD collection, like Caddyshack could get polluted by it. All of a sudden I'd watch it, and all of a sudden it would be like Ted Knight would be, instead of doing, like, sit down, Danny, he'd be all of a sudden, he'd go off for like 45 minutes on Danny in the office. He'd be doing this speech, just like talking about, he'd probably be talking about the upcoming second Star Wars movie at that point.
Aren't there 3 versions of all the DVDs now anyway? I mean, he keeps re-releasing them.
Yes, I think he just keeps putting, he put out Clerks, and then there was like a Super Clerks one, then like a 10th anniversary Clerks one.
It just keeps coming.
Haven't seen the 10th anniversary one yet, though. I think it's got like a huge, like, extended making of on it.
Well, I think you've gone actually deeper than I have, but I did see Jersey Girl, so.
Now, what was he saying to you when you were fighting with him?
Oh, it was heated. It would go back and forth.
Like, what would you say, for example? Can you remember one specific?
Well, I remember, like I said, the big one was sort of tearing it apart, the Dogma script. And particularly, I hate all the pop culture references as well. And I think there was like a big punchline that he just took out of The Graduate in that movie, right? The plastics thing, that punchline.
Uh-huh.
And I just was like, how can you put that, it just was like amazing to me that he thought that like he could do that again and it would be funny.
Like, that's not yours.
Yeah.
So what is this, Wayne's World 2?
Right. So, we would just go back and forth. Unfortunately, all that stuff is lost. I should have printed out some of them. Some of them were pretty funny. And then of course, all the fans would jump on me. So it would be me against the entire website. And, I mean, I think I actually inspired, not to take full credit, but the internet aspect of Jay and Silent Bob.
Uh-huh.
I think I inspired that. He actually uses my handle that
Really?
I used on the website in the movie.
Like, verbally? Like, you hear it?
No,
or
they see it. When there's like a shot of the computer screen,
Uh-huh.
and it's B Buster, which was the handle I used on that website, and I still use on the
Holy
Friends
moly.
of Tom. You can see it there. So that was his little homage to me in that film.
You're like one of these guys.
But you're pretty deep, Tom. I didn't know you had it too.
You were there in the day that I guess when Jay and Silent Bob were being told by Brody that
You know the scene.
that he didn't that they got ripped off on the the comic book.
Yeah,
rights.
yeah, exactly. And actually, there was a shot where I was even closer to the scene, and they sort of moved me out because my hair was shining.
It was too.
It was too gray or something. I don't know.
Well, it might have been that pert you used. That
Pert, yeah.
That nice. Well, your hair is very lustrous.
I guess so. Plus, they even put makeup on me, which I was kind of amused by that.
And what are you doing on the screen? Are you reading a comic book?
Well, that was sort of the joke. When I criticized the website, I used to put down all the comic book readers.
Mm-hmm.
I said anybody beyond 14 reading a comic book, those were like, I was going to be there to criticize them, and so that was kind of the inside joke too, that he's got me reading comic books in the scene.
Now, what did he say to you when you were face to face?
I actually the first time I met him was at one of these meet and greets. Somebody thought it would be funny to finally go there and just say. And, I admitted who I was, and he shook my hand. And like you said, he is a decent guy. He's not a bad guy in person.
Seems like a nice guy. Just don't like the product.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a nice guy who instead of draining a septic tank, he fills them. He's a nice guy. He drives around and fills your septic tank.
And he's got a large fan base, like you said. They keep coming out.
He's like Rush, though. He's like when Rush always put out a new album, it was always like it entered like the Billboard charts, but like new album number 8, Rush. Like it would, and then like the next week it'd be like Rush number 41. Like it would just instantly, like he's got that fan, but nobody joins it.
Yeah.
Like when people check, it's like you're allowed. One person comes in, one person has to go out.
Right.
You don't.
But his movies cost so little that I guess it's hard for them to lose money. So
yeah, well, I think it's good for him for figuring out a business plan that works and everything. The guy makes cheap movies and they make money and he gets to make more of them. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's working for him.
But those two guys, oh boy, you never met either of those guys, did you?
The two actors?
Yeah, the two clerks.
No, I think they may have been there for one of the screenings. I think it was one of the event was one of the days he had in Red Bank. And I think they may have spoke before one of the movies.
I want you to meet, this is the guy who fights with Kevin on the board all the time. Like, hey, you're the guy who gives him a hard time on the board. Why don't you lay off him? I don't know why you're giving him such a hard time. That guy, always with the face, like, what?
Yeah.
Somebody says something, it looks like he just got shot. The guys in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly made less faces than he did when they were getting blown away. Like Lee Van Cleef when he was getting his when Eli Wallach had his the two Lee Van Cleef had his thumbs in his eye sockets. He was making less facial movements than that guy was. All of a sudden the sun went. The light got blocked. I think a mail truck just blocked the light. There's only 3 minutes left in the show.
That was quite a rant, Tom.
Was it everything you wanted?
Oh, I was loving it.
Oh, good. oh, coming in. I didn't know you were filling in, Duran.
Yeah.
For Bill.
Bill's out of town.
Now, you gave me a thumbs up during that.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith.
Not a fan.
No, not really.
Not a fan.
What's to like?
Thank you. What's the like? What track do you want on this?
Just the first one.
Okay.